darsimizda siz bilan elementary kursimizning 12-uniti 2-qismi haqida gaplashamiz. 12.2 at the movies, ya'ni kinolarda. Goals, maqsadlarimiz talk about films, ya'ni kinolar haqida gaplashish. Use present perfect and past simple, ya'ni hozirgi zamon oddiy tugalangan zamon va o'tgan oddiy zamonni ishlatishga harakat qilishimiz kerak. Vocabulary and speaking films, ya'ni lug'at boyligi va speaking mahoratimizni oshiramiz va kinolar haqida gaplashamiz. Exercise 1. Work with a partner, read the quote about films and answer the questions. Sheringiz bilan ishlang va kinolar haqidagi quote, ya'ni berilgan sitatani o'qing va savollarga javob bering. People who like movies have a favorite. People who love movies couldn't possibly choose. Demak, Nicole Yatsonsky author. Demak, kinoni yaxshi ko'radigan odamlarda ularni sevimli kinosi bor. People who love movies, ya'ni kinoni sevadigan odamlar birortasini tanlay olishmaydi. Keling endi bu savollarga javob berishga harakat qilib ko'ramiz. Do you agree with Nicole Yatsonsky? Why not? 2. How often do you watch films at home? How often do you go to the cinema? Videoni pauza qiling va bu mashqni yozma ravishda bajarishga harakat qilib ko'ring. Keling endi taxminiy javoblarni ko'rib chiqamiz. Well, I don't quite agree with Nicole Yatsonsky because some movies are objectively terrible. They're boring, and we can just give examples of documentaries. They're really boring and they don't give any value. Well, you can learn something, but you can learn something from YouTube videos or Google at least. 2. How often do you watch films at home? Well, depends on situation, depends on how I'm feeling, because I mostly prefer not to watch movies. I prefer to read books or watch YouTube videos so that I can learn something new. And movies are mostly, time spent for nothing, and you just become a zombie when you watch movies. And I don't want to live my life like a zombie, so that's why I would say that once a week or twice a week. 3. How often do you go to the cinema? Well, I really rarely, almost never go to the cinema. For example, the last time I went to cinema was 2 years ago. And, I don't quite prefer going to cinema because, it takes a lot of time. That's the biggest prevention from me going to the movies, because I have to go there for 1 hour, I have to watch the movie, I have to enter, so it takes around 4 hours, and I don't want to, and I'm not ready to make this sacrifice for just watching one movie. Exercise 2A. Listen to 8 descriptions and number the types of film in the box. Bu qismda biz 8 ta berilgan ta'rifni eshitishimiz kerak va berilgan ta'riflarni types, ya'ni kino turlariga qarab qo'yib chiqishimiz kerak bo'ladi.
Audio 12.6. 1.
Sometimes you don't want to look because they are scary. For example, the Blair Witch Project, Dracula films.
2.
They tell a love story. For example, Titanic, Gone with the Wind.
3.
You laugh at them because they are funny. For example, Mr. Bean, The Mask.
4.
They tell a story about something that happens in people's lives, and sometimes they are very sad. For example, The Help, Forrest Gump.
5.
People fight and drive fast cars. For example, Speed, James Bond films.
6.
They have spaceships and are set on other planets, or they are about the future. For example, Avatar, Star Wars films.
7.
They don't have real people, and nowadays they're usually made with computers. For example, Shrek, Finding Nemo.
8.
People sing and dance. For example, Mamma Mia, Grease.
Keling endi javoblarni birgalikda tekshirib chiqamiz. 1. Horror films. 2. Romantic films. 3. Comedies. 4. Dramas. 5. Action films. 6. Science fiction films. 7. Animations. 8. Musicals. Exercise 2B. Listen, check and repeat. Audioni eshiting, javoblaringizni tekshiring va bu yana audioni yoki berilgan gaplarni takrorlashga harakat qilib ko'ring.
Audio 12.7. 1,
Horror films.
2,
Romantic films.
3,
Comedies.
4,
Dramas.
5,
Action films.
6,
Science fiction films.
7,
Animations.
8,
Musicals.
Exercise 2C. Work in small groups. Think of 2-3 more films about each type. Kichik guruhlarda ishlang va har bir film janri, ya'ni har bir type uchun, tur uchun 2-3 ta yana qo'shimcha bo'lgan kinolarni o'ylab topishga harakat qiling. Exercise 3A. Work in small groups. Take turns to say which types of film do you like and don't like. Kichik guruhlarda ishlang va qaysi kino turlarini sizga yoqishi va qaysi turlar kino yoqmasligini haqida gaplashing. Va bu yerda taxminiy javob sifatida I don't like action films because they are really boring. I prefer comedies. Action filmlarni yomon ko'raman chunki ular juda ham zerikarli va komediyalar menga ko'proq yoqadi. Videoni pauza qiling va bu mashqni yozma ravishda bajarishga harakat qilib ko'ring. Kelingida taxminiy javoblarni ko'rib chiqamiz. Well, I quite like science fiction films because we can see how life is going to be in the future just watching science fiction films. There are a lot of great science fiction movies and you can just understand human nature by watching science fiction films because as science improves but human emotion stays the same and you can learn a lot about humans, future, technology, developments in science fiction films. And the films that I don't like are, well, probably comedies because, well, comedies are just quite cheap dopamine snack for you. You just laugh, but at the end it's just for nothing. Like you don't benefit somehow from comedies. Maybe you just have fun time, but you can have fun time just talking to your friends or talking to your family members, not just TV or movies. Exercise 3B. Tell the class about the films you like, don't like. Use the ideas in the box. Boximda esa siz o'zingizga yoqadigan kinolar va yoqmaydigan kinolar haqida guruhga gapirib berishingiz kerak va bu yerda berilgan ideyalarni, fikrlarni ishlatishingiz mumkin bo'ladi va boximda everybody likes, loves, hates, nobody likes, some of us like. Bu qismda esa siz videoni pauza qiling va mashqni yozma ravishda bajarishga harakat qilib ko'ring. Kelingina taxminiy javobni ko'rib chiqamiz. Well, the film that I love and the film that is my favorite is Cloud Atlas. And Cloud Atlas is science fiction movie. And in this movie there are, cadres, like there are parts of films and they are divided into parts and they are divided into 6 characters and they just show people in different time periods, in different eras, in different situations and you just can learn a lot of things from this movie. And I just definitely really strongly recommend this movie to you. Exercise 4. Listen to 2 people talking about films. Which types of films in exercise 2A they are talking about? Demak, bu qismda biz 2 kishining kinolar haqida gaplashayotganligini eshitishimiz va 2A mashqida berilgan qaysi film haqida, film turi haqida gaplashayotganligini topishimiz kerak bo'ladi.
Audio 12.8. 1,
My favourite film is Titanic. It's a drama, but also a love story, and it stars Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. It's about a huge ship and all the people on it.
2,
The film that's made more money than any other in the world is Avatar. It's a science fiction film, and it's set in the future.
Kelingina javoblarni birgalikda ko'rib chiqamiz. The first version talks about drama and romantic movies, and the second person talks about science fiction films. Exercise 5A. Work with a partner. Complete sentences 1 to 5 from the listening in exercise 4 using the words in the box. Sherigingiz bilan ishlang va 4-chi mashqdagi listeningdagi gaplarni, 1-dan 5-gacha bo'lgan gaplarni to'ldirib chiqishingiz kerak bo'ladi va buni to'ldirayotganda shu so'zlarni ishlatishingiz mumkin. Videoni pauza qiling va mashqni yozma ravishda bajarishga harakat qilib ko'ring. Keling endi javoblarni birgalikda tekshirib chiqamiz. 1. My favorite film is Titanic. 2. It stars Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. 3. It is about huge ship and all the people on it. 4. It is a science fiction film. 5. It is set in the future. Exercise 5B. Listen again and check your answers. Bu qismda audioni yana bir bor eshitishingiz va javoblaringizni yana bir bor tekshirib olishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Exercise 5C. Change the sentences in exercise 5A to make them true for your favorite film. Tell your partner. Bu qismda 5-A mashqda berilgan gaplarni o'zimizga, bizning yoqtirgan kinomizga, filmimizga to'g'ri qilgan ravishda o'zgartirishimiz kerak bo'ladi va buni o'z sherigimiz bilan gaplashishimiz kerak bo'ladi. Videoni pauza qiling va bu mashqni yozma ravishda bajarishga harakat qilib ko'ring. Keling endi taxminiy javobni ko'rib chiqamiz. My favorite film is Cloud Atlas. It stars, I don't know people who it stars. Well, it's about Earth and in different periods and all the people on it, and there are 6 main characters. It's a science fiction film and it is set in the past, present and far future. Grammar and listening. Grammatika va listening qismi eshitishni harakat qilib ko'ramiz. Present perfect and past simple, ya'ni hozirgi zamon tugallangan fe'li va o'tgan oddiy zamon. Exercise 6A. Read part of a web page and answer the questions, ya'ni web sahifani qismini o'qishimiz kerak va savollarga javob berishimiz kerak bo'ladi. Videoni pauza qiling va bu mashqni yozma ravishda bajarishga harakat qilib ko'ring. Keling endi javoblarni birgalikda ko'rib chiqamiz. 1. What kind of film is The Artist? Artist is a silent film. And well, silent black and white film. O'zingiz ko'rganingizdek, ovozsiz oq-qora kino. Why did some people leave the cinema? Well, they didn't know that it's a silent movie when they bought the tickets. Exercise 6B. Work with a partner. Read the second part of the web page and answer the questions in it. O'z sherigingiz bilan ishlang va ikkinchi web sahifaning ikkinchi qismini o'qing va bu berilgan savollarni javoblarini berishga harakat qiling. Videoni pauza qiling va bu mashqni yozma ravishda bajarishga harakat qilib ko'ring. Keling endi taxminiy javoblarni ko'rib chiqamiz. How often do people leave the cinema early and why do they do it? Well, it happens often. Well, there may be different reasons. Well, first reason is it's not in their expectation and they didn't expect that the film maybe that boring, that uninteresting, or they may have some problems. The personal problems, that's why they may leave the place. Have you ever left the cinema before the end of a film? Well, I quite rarely go to cinema and watch movies there. That's why it's, well, never happened. Has it ever annoyed you when other people left the cinema early? Well, it doesn't annoy me. Why it should annoy me? Because it's their job and they're not touching me or they're not making me uncomfortable with it. So I'm not annoyed with it. Why? About that, tell us your thoughts. Endi siz o'zingiz javoblaringizni yozma ravishda bajargan javoblaringizni o'qib eshittirishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Exercise 7. Look at the questions in exercise 6B again and complete the rules in the grammar focus box. 6-B mashqimizdagi berilgan savollarga yana bir bor ko'rishimiz kerak va berilgan grammar focus qutichamizdagi qoidalarni to'ldirib chiqishimiz kerak bo'ladi. Grammar focus, present perfect questions and short answers. Present perfect hozirgi tugallangan zamonda beriladigan savollar va qisqa javoblar. To make questions in present perfect, we use have, I, you with a plus past participle question, has, he, she, it plus past participle question. Demak, has yordamchi fe'lini egidan oldinga chiqarib yuborish orqaligina biz present perfect simple question formini hosil qilishimiz mumkin. With yes no questions we usually use short answers. Demak, ha yo'q savollari berilganda biz oddiygina qilib qisqa javoblardan foydalana qolamiz. Yes, are you with they have? Yes, he she it has. No, are you with they haven't? No, he she it hasn't. O'zingiz ko'rganingizdek qisqa javoblarda ham biz yordamchi have has shaklini ishlatish bilangina cheklanamiz. Exercise 8A. Listen to 4 people answering the questions from the web page. Complete the first column of the table with a tick or a cross. Bu qismda biz berilgan web sahifadagi savollarga 4 kishining bergan javoblarini eshitishimiz kerak va bu berilgan bo'limning birinchi qismini faqatgina tick, ya'ni shu belgilarni ishlatgan holda javob berishimiz kerak bo'ladi.
Audio 12.9.
Have you ever left the cinema early?
Speaker 1.
Oh, yes. I've left in the middle of a lot of films. I don't want to sit in a cinema watching something really bad. Life's too short.
Speaker 2.
I've never left the cinema early, but I've often wanted to. A few months ago, I went to see a terrible film. Someone walked out every 5 minutes. At the end of the film, I was the only person left. But I think you have to watch the whole film, or you don't know if it's good or bad.
Speaker 3.
Yes, I have. I walked out once. It was last summer, and it was a beautiful day. The film was really boring, so I just decided to leave.
Speaker 4.
No, I haven't, but I've fallen asleep in a lot of cinemas. When the lights go out and the seats are comfortable and the film is slow, then I just can't stay awake. I've never walked out of a film, though. I think it's rude to other people who are watching.
Keling endi javoblarni birgalikda tekshirib chiqamiz. Have they ever left the cinema early? Speaker 1, yes. Speaker 2, no. Speaker 3, yes. And Speaker 4, no. Exercise 8B. Listen again and make notes in the second column of the table. Compare your answers with a partner. Demak, bu qismda anionni yana bir marta eshitishimiz va ular why not, ya'ni sinema, ya'ni kinoteatrdan oldinroq chiqib ketish sabablari va chiqmaganligi sabablarini topishga harakat qilishimiz kerak va qaydnomalar yozishimiz kerak bo'ladi va bundan keyin javoblaringizni o'z she'ringiz bilan taqqoslab ko'ring. Keling endi javoblarni birgalikda tekshirib chiqamiz. Speaker 1 thinks that the film was really bad and life's too short to spend time on these things. Speaker 2 thinks that you have to watch the whole film or you don't know it's good or bad. Speaker 3 thinks that the film was really boring and it was a beautiful day. And Speaker 4 thinks that it's okay to fall asleep, but it's rude to other people to walk out. Exercise 9A. Listen and complete the sentences from the listening in exercise 8. Compare your answers with a partner. Bu qismda siz 8-chi mashqda berilgan listeningdagi gaplarni to'ldirishingiz kerak va o'z javoblaringizni she'ringiz bilan taqqoslab chiqishingiz kerak.
Audio 12.10. 1.
I've never left the cinema early, but I've often wanted to.
2.
A few months ago, I went to see a terrible film.
3.
Have you ever left the cinema early?
Yes, I have. I walked out once. It was last summer, and it was a beautiful day.
Keling endi javoblarni birgalikda tekshirib chiqamiz. 1. I have never left the cinema early, but I've often wanted to. 2. A few months ago, I went to see a terrible film. 3. Have you ever left the cinema early? Yes, I have. I walked out once. It was last summer and it was a beautiful day. Exercise 9b. Work with a partner, look at the sentences in exercise 9a and complete the rules in the grammar focus box. Write past simple or present perfect. Sheringiz bilan ishlang va 9A mashqdagi gaplardan foydalangan holda grammar focus qutubchamizdagi qoidalarni to'ldirib chiqishingiz kerak va bu qismda past simple yoki present perfect so'zlarni ishlatishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Grammar focus, present perfect and past simple. Hozirgi tugallangan zamon va o'tgan oddiy zamon. Use the present perfect to say something happened before now, but we don't know or we don't say when. We often use it with ever, never. Demak, present perfect hozirgi tugallangan zamonni hozirdan oldin bo'lgan qanaqadir vaziyat uchun ishlatamiz va bu qismda biz biror bir vaziyatni qachon bo'lganligini yoki bilmaymiz yoki aytmaymiz. Bu qismda biz asosan ever, never so'zlarini ishlatamiz. Use past simple to say something happened before now and we know the time. Demak, o'tgan oddiy zamonni biz hozirdan oldin sodir bo'lgan biror bir ish harakatni aytayotganimizda va vaqtini aniq bilganimizda ishlatamiz. We often start with the present perfect and then change to past simple to give more details. Demak, biz gapni biror bir tajriba haqida, biror bir holat, vaziyat haqida gapirayotganimizda present perfect strukturasi bilan boshlaymiz va qo'shimcha detallarni qachon bo'lganiga, qanaqa bo'lganiga haqida detallarni berish uchun esa past simple strukturasini ishlatamiz. Keling endi shu qoidaga taxminiy javoblarni ko'rib chiqamiz. Have you ever been to China? Well, I have been to China for 2 times, and last time I went was last year. I traveled to Beijing and I bought a lot of presents for my family members. Exercise 10a. Work with a partner. Read part of an interview between a journalist and film director, Pavel, and actor Wanda. Choose the correct form of the verbs. Sheringiz bilan ishlang va demak, jurnalist, film direktori Pavel va aktyor Wanda o'rtasida bo'lgan intervyuni qismini o'qing va to'g'ri javoblarni tanlashga harakat qiling. Videoni pauza qiling va bu mashqni yozma ravishda bajarishga harakat qilib ko'ring. Keling endi javoblarni birgalikda tekshirib chiqamiz. So Pavel, you're here for the Rio de Janeiro Film Festival. Have you ever visited Brazil before? Yes, I have. Twice. Actually, I came here when I was a child and I was here 3 years ago for work too. Interesting. And what about you, Wanda? Have you ever been to Rio? No, I have never been here before, but it's a beautiful city. I'm very pleased to hear that. So, I saw your latest film Inbox Me last night and I thought it was really wonderful. Well, thank you very much. And everyone else in the cinema enjoyed it too. When it finished, people stood up and clapped. I couldn't believe it. Really, I'm delighted to hear that a lot of people have said some lovely things about it. Last week, someone has told me it was their favorite film of the year. Exercise 10b. Listen and check your answers. Bu qismda esa audioni eshiting va javoblaringizni yana bir bor tekshirib oling.
Audio 12.11.
So, Pavel, you're here for the Rio de Janeiro Film Festival. Have you visited Brazil before?
Yes, I have. Twice. Actually, I came here when I was a child and I was here 3 years ago for work too.
Interesting. And what about you, Wanda? Have you ever been to Rio before?
No, I've never been here before, but it's a beautiful city.
I'm very pleased to hear that. So, I saw your latest film, Inbox Me, last night, and I thought it was really wonderful.
Well, thank you very much.
And everyone else in the cinema enjoyed it too. When it finished, people stood up and clapped. I couldn't believe it.
Really? I'm delighted to hear that. A lot of people have said some lovely things about it.
Last week, someone told me it was their favorite film of the year.
Great! So, tell me.
Exercise 11a. Work in small groups. Take turns to ask about your experiences. Use the ideas in the box to help you and your own ideas. Kichik guruhlarda ishlang va o'rin almashgan holda o'z tajribalaringiz haqida gapirib bering va bu qismdagi qutichada berilgan so'zlarni va ideyalarni o'zingiz uchun yordam sifatida ishlating va bu yerda taxminiy javob Have you ever been to a big concert? Yes, I have. I went to Coldplay concert in Warsaw last year. Videoni pauza qiling va bu mashqni yozma ravishda bajarishga harakat qilib ko'ring. Keling endi taxminiy javoblarni ko'rib chiqamiz. Well, I want to talk about the time I have been in a film, and it was 2 years ago. It was a great movie. It was actually the Sonic the Hedgehog. I think you like this movie too. It's based on a movie. It's based on a game that is very popular. Sonic the Hedgehog is the animal that really moves really fast, and I went there with my friend and we had a really great time, and I just still remember the little details of the movie, and it was really amazing experience that I have ever had. Exercise 11B. Tell the class about your group. Have you had similar experiences? For example, Maria has never been to a big concert, but Ilana and I have. Bu qismda esa siz o'zingizning guruhingiz haqida guruhga gapirib berishingiz kerak va agar sizda bir xil experience, ya'ni tajribalar bo'lgan bo'lsa, shu haqida ham gapirib berishingiz kerak bo'ladi va bu yerda taxminiy javob. Mario hech qachon katta konsertda bo'lmagan va Elena va men bo'lganmiz. Shu bilan bugungi darsimiz o'z nihoyasiga yetdi. Sizni keyingi darslarda kutib qolamiz.